What's up, kids? BlackMetal back again. Sunday, August 4th, 2013. Just been kind of hanging out like I do every Sunday, checking out some Netflix. Anyway, I'm totally all about this documentary on Netflix there. It's been up there for a little while now. The Bones Brigade documentary, it's pretty awesome. To all you not familiar, the Bones Brigade was a skate team from the 80s that had the killers in it. You know, the people that are, owed a lot of credit. Hawk, Steve Caballero, Lance Mountain, Rodney Mullen, of all people. Rodney Mullen, if you're not familiar with him, the inventor of all flat ground tricks, including basically the flat ground ollie, kick flip, heel flip, any kind of flip you want to think about, the Casper slide, the dark slide, whatever you want to talk about. Rodney Mullen invented that shit. This documentary is awesome. It was kind of like, I was a horrible skater. I was into skating in high school. I was always trying to get these really expensive decks that I saw in the CCS catalogs. And I wasn't good. I didn't understand, like, you just need to get a deck, you need to get the basics down and learn like that. I was, just wanted to do the stuff that I saw on the skate videos and stuff. And in college, I met a dude who was, way serious skater. He had been skating about 4 or 5 years at that point, and he basically put me on with a just a little trainer deck and everything, and I was starting to learn the little basics there. I never learned good solid ollie, but I rode and learned just basically the coordination of actually riding a board over the course of the last 3 years I was in college. But either way, I never got over the fear. I could never drop in. My one attempt at ever dropping in, was horribly unsuccessful and painful. It was just a pain. I couldn't bring myself to take the pain of bailing. It hurts. That's one thing. And I think now I really want to get back into it. I want to go ahead and get a good solid ollie before I die. That's one thing I want to definitely do before I leave this earth, is get myself a good solid foot high ollie. I think that's good. Foot high, foot and a half, maybe even 2 foot ollie. That would be nice, to say I could do, to put underneath my belt, before I leave this planet. Add it to my list of accomplishments. A 2 foot ollie, everybody can't do a 2 foot ollie. Obviously I'm not doing a 2 foot ollie now, so but anyway, I'm totally want to get myself a just for fun, just to have the kind of money to get one of those old zero boards online somebody's had, or something, like with the old designs. I really want to get the one of the Paradise Lost press designs from that documentary. Awesome documentary about some metalhead kids in Alabama in the 90s who got railroaded into this horrible murder trial situation. Okay. Anyway, Bones Brigade, awesome documentary. If you are into skating at all, or if you 30 plus like me, and you remember the time that they're talking about, you remember when Caballero was big, Tommy Guerrero, who else was big in there? They mentioned some of everything. Like, they basically, this is a Stacy Peralta documentary. If you've seen Dogtown and Z-Boys, another awesome documentary. But they basically pick up where Dogtown leaves off, and they come in with Alan Gelfand doing, they don't come in, but they mention the Alan Gelfand invention of the ollie in the bowl. Like, just some of the most awesome things you can think about skating. Basically, like skating, the kind of skating that ushered in now, you know, like the kids now, like all these tricks that they do now were invented in this time, and it's really awesome to see the invention of these tricks and everything. It's really a good documentary. One of my favorite things about it is Rodney Mullen talking about anything. This man is near, like, it's crazy. He's just like, looking him up, the kind of stuff he's into, he's like a genius. But like to hear him talk about things is so, he's such a character. He really is. Had no idea. Well, actually, I think that's something that's more of a recent development. I remember seeing Mullins in old skate videos, and he was a little bit more like, you know, a little tighter. But he's definitely. But it's cool though. I totally love Rodney Mullen. He seems to be like one of those really like genuine kind of people. They're so genuine to the point where they seem almost like simple, like almost like a Forrest Gump type. I mean, he's obviously not. The man's a genius. He's not Forrest Gump. He's not a dummy. But he has that kind of feel, you know. Well, you got to see the documentary, Bones Brigade, an autobiography. It's been on Netflix for a good while now. I just checked it out again, so you guys make sure that you take a look at that. But anyway, as I was talking about the other thing there's another documentary. It's been out for well over 20 some odd years now. It's actually a series of 3 documentaries, the Paradise Lost trilogy. They talk more or less about what that happened over here in I want to say, was it Memphis, Arkansas? I know there was a Memphis, Arkansas, but these kids basically, there were 3 8 to 9 year old boys who were kidnapped, and over the course of 24 hours they were found not too far away from their homes in a shallow creek area, basically bound, mutilated, you know, not clothed. I mean, something that would look like some kind of horrible sex crime against a child. But there's so many forensic problems with the presentation of the case, especially from the standpoint of the prosecution. This is one of the craziest things I've ever seen, where basically 3 people were tried and sentenced with minimal to, in some cases, outright no evidence in the case against them. It's something you really got to check out. The story has since, you know, come to not really a close, as you'll see. I hate to I'm not gonna spoil it because you guys will probably go look this thing up, but these kids were in the Metallica. These documentaries are awesome just because they span over the course of 94, then again in 99 they have a second one, and then in 2011 they do the last one. And in each part they're kind of at the point of Metallica's career. Like the second one is awesome just because the Unforgiven 2 is used a few times in the documentary. Just that opener, like, it's Unforgiven 2 is such an awesome song just because it has almost kind of like a country music kind of feel to it. It just is excellent writing. I've always loved that song. But anyway, this is a hell of a documentary to check out what happened to these kids right here in America in the 90s. Basically, it was a case of a city or a state not wanting to spend the money and resources to prove that someone hadn't committed a crime, rather take the more inexpensive route of convicting them of a crime with absolutely no evidence. You know, like, that's basically what it was broken down to. And you know, I hate to give us that kind of, was a spoiler, but more or less that's what the state hands these guys in the end. Is basically, that's more, and then it's so shallow. It's such a horrible, like, they don't even try to, like, they try to sugarcoat it and don't even succeed in sugarcoating it, giving an excuse for taking 18 years of these guys' lives. But anyway, you have to check this documentary out. It's a really awesome thing if you love Metallica, and just the connection I kind of felt to these kids, because, you know, I was a little younger than them in the 90s when I heard the story. Like, my mom went ape shit, like, these kids getting found in a ditch, and they were about my age, and it was some kind of devil worshippers that castrated them and, you know, raped them or whatever. And the story just, this is pre-internet, so word of mouth was absolutely ridiculous. By the time that the story got over here to North Carolina, it had turned to some of everything happened to those kids. But anyway, it was a really scary part of the 90s when this thing went down. But I was a Metallica fan. I remember seeing them mentioned on MTV News. Kurt Loder was talking all about the Paradise Lost deal and everything. It was a really scary situation being younger and not understanding what was going on. But seeing this documentary now in my adulthood, oh my God, like, it totally could have been me. I was, you know, a young metalhead who, and on top of being a young black kid, so then I really stuck out with it. Like, I, you know, was all metal style, and I didn't care. I didn't care what people thought, you know. That's what I was down with. I listened to hip hop, I listened to a lot, everything. I was cool with all the kids, but I was straight, you know, metal when it came down to it, and I wasn't afraid to present it, you know. I could have been easily labeled devil worshiper or something like that, you know, because that's the kind of look that a lot of young metalheads have. And come to find out, these kids had absolutely nothing to do with any kind of satanic anything, period. You know, they didn't, and then the murder itself is so creepy. Like, the kids get found not too far away from where they live. Mysteriously, the parents can't account for where their kids were in the evening, but yet there's all these conflicting accounts of people who may or may not have seen them with their own kids around the time that the kids. It's just really like a clusterfuck. But one thing that's abundantly apparent through the course of documentaries is that there's no evidence that these kids that basically are in prison for it had anything to do with it. Again and again, the evidence points more towards the parents. These are young kids. These aren't kids that would have went missing and nobody noticed. They were like 8 years old, like babies basically. And you mean to tell me these parents didn't have any idea where their kids were around the time of 6 o'clock or something? What? But okay, check out the documentary. I'm sorry, it really is, it's that moving and that stirring what ends up happening to these kids. So I recommend it. It should be on YouTube or something like that. But anyway, check it out. Paradise Lost, The Murder in Robin Hood Hills is the first one. Second is Paradise Lost Revelation. Third is Paradise Lost. What is it? What's the last one called? Anyway, 3. It was Paradise Lost 3. Check out the third. But anyway, this is a hell of a trilogy of, you know, a real story long before, you know, reality shows became the norm here. And this is a true to the heart, real situation that really happened to these kids. And as a metalhead, you definitely got to check it out, because I'm sure tons of you kids, even now, that are the age they were when they were convicted, you totally would feel this story. But anyway, I'll probably be back later. I'm trying to get down on some kind of black metal. I hadn't really listened to much black metal in the past couple weeks. I've been, you know, all Metallica crazy. And then, you know, happy birthday again to James Hetfield. But anyway, make sure you check out Bones Brigade, an autobiography all about Tony Hawk, Rodney Mullen, Steve Caballero, Lance Mountain, Tommy Guerrero, and a lot of influential skaters who created a lot of, you know, stuff kids are, you know, that make up the basics of learning skating now. And also the Paradise Lost trilogy. You absolutely love it. You know, if you're into murder mystery, that kind of thing, this thing is awesome. Just because this is technically a murder mystery that has yet to be completely solved. So get to that third documentary. You'll love this shit. I'll be back later on, kids. You guys take it easy and get in some black metal. Black metal's good for your soul. It helps you out. It makes you a better person. That much is for sure. Dream.